Hello guys, Cyber Dragon here, bringing you guys part 2 of What If Deku Was Taskmaster. So I'm not gonna lie, I did spoil you guys somewhat yesterday, redoing the two parts of Sub-Zero, parts 3 and 4, because I felt like I messed up on those tremendously. So I kind of deleted the previous two and redid those two. But yeah, now we're up to part 2 of Taskmaster. This one is actually becoming, well, that's my favorite one. Next to the Sub-Zero one, but at some point I will have to stop Sub-Zero. Not anytime soon, though. Like, after Season 4, like, I'm gonna, like, to the point of when Endeavor fights the High Advanced Nomu, I'm gonna have to stop there because I'm gonna wait till watch Season 5. I do not really keep up with the manga, so I do know some things in the manga. Not a whole lot, though. Just some. As for now, we'll just see how things go. Anyways, let's start where we left off. As Deku is contemplating All Might's question, like, young man, do you accept my quirk? Deku thinks for a moment and looks back at All Might and saying, All Might, I got your answer. He is pausing for dramatic effect. I want to wait to see if there's anyone more worthy before you give your quirk to me. All Might is surprised by his answer and saying, well, sir, why do you think that, young Midoriya? As Izuku says, what if there's someone more suited for your quirk than me? I don't want to just have it and to realize there's someone more better than me to have it. My boost quirk gives me some advantages over most people, but I feel like it can get me pretty far. I don't need to be number 1, but I am aiming for it. Not to mention, so there can be definitely someone better. I heard there's some talk about Endeavor's son going to UA next year, so you might want to see him and see his personality and whatnot, to make sure he's maybe more worthy than me. Or heck, maybe he does been to UA soon, like as soon as he's about to graduate or something. All Might is somewhat impressed by Deku's answer and thinking he's more worthy because he didn't accept it off the bat. He can accept that there's someone even stronger than him. He is wanting to give Deku his quirk more now. And All Might said, alright, for now, I'll keep the quirk, but if there's no one that I see as worthy as you, I would like you to have it. Deku said, alright, how about this? If depending on who wins the sports festival, you might give them that quirk. All Might accepts that, but he then says, well, at least let me train you for the 10 months. So, I feel like you can get pretty far even with your own quirk, but at the same time, you probably can push the limits of your abilities. Deku accepts his offer, but realizes, well, I just also realized we need to talk to my mother about this, too. All Might is curious, like, why is that? Deku then goes to explain, like, well, she is overprotective. Not to mention, I do live in the forest, pretty much. So I lived there all my life, and I rarely kind of go out of the forest. Only really to go to school or to meet up with a friend of mine. But most of the time she comes here too. So, and since of that, we have been talking about moving me to the city, closer to there. My mom, however, is on the fence on that. So we might need to talk to her first. All Might agrees and asks who is your mother. Yes. Izuku said, yeah, my mom is Mandalay, part of the Wild Wild Pussycats. He is surprised. He is not surprised. He heard Mandalay talk about Izuku. Well, she having a son, but he is surprised that it's this kid. So, standing right in front of him. So he should never actually had a chance to meet him yet, so. All Might said, I will tag along with you to talk about this, training, and to see if maybe you could crash with me for a while. So that she will have an easier mind, not mind, ease some stress, I guess. And Izuku's like, alright, she might be convinced if the number one hero is going to help look after me. And who knows? So, maybe I could, alright. Who knows? Maybe she even will, let me get my license now, too. All Might chuckles and we'll see, young Midoriya. As they head to the house, Mandalay runs up to him and hugs him immediately, because she saw the news, obviously, like in the last part I mentioned. She is so worried about her baby boy. Say, are you okay? Is there any scratches on you? So checking him head to toe. The other members, Pixie, Bob, Ragdoll, and Tiger, just chuckling and seeing how overprotective Mandalay is. And at Deku as well. Koda is also chuckling a bit. She's saying, I'm fine. But I do have someone for you guys to meet that may help you to convince you to let me go in the city to make sure I get to UA. Man's like, alright, so bring him in. As he says, alright, you can come in. All my peers, out of the corner, say, I am here. They're all shocked that All Might himself is here. And All Might goes to explain, said, Miss Mandalay, I am here to want to train your son so he can be prepared for the UA entrance exam. Not only that, I would be willing to watch over your son to make sure he doesn't get in any trouble or trouble finding him. As Mandalay is still skeptical, it's not that I'm not grateful to your offer, All Might, but I still don't know. Even if you're the number one hero, your job is pretty time-consuming. And not only that, but will my son really be that alright? So, in your care? As she is giving him a death glare, seeing if he is... Well, not a death glare, but something like that. I don't know, a concerned look, just in case, because she's an overprotective mother, obviously. You would still be worried even if he is covered in Kevlar armor in a Kevlar armor and being driven by the military itself. And she wouldn't think that's still good enough. That's why he doesn't have a license either. Because he has the skills to drive a motorcycle and a car. But Mandalay's is skeptical about that. As All Might don't worry, ma'am. As an extra precaution, I'm actually being a UA teacher myself, so I can make sure he gets home and studies as well. And of course, I will keep him in line. For you. I will not take your role as a parent, but as a mentor to young Midoriya. Mandalay sighs and Izuku, is this really what you want to lead? As Izuku said, for now, Mom, I do want to go to the city and experience more of it than I already have. And it would be easier than me waking up, says, 2 hours early to get to school on time. Or a few more hours, like a ton of hours early, I guess. I'm not sure. Like, I'm guessing minimum of 2 to 3. Mandalay, sir, with a heavy heart, says, "Alright, All Might, sir, but don't think I won't be checking in on my child every now and again. Sir, I'll at least come over there once a week to say hi to my baby boy." And Zuko's blushing because he's embarrassed and say, "Mom," as All Might chuckle is like, "Ha ha ha. Alright," said Mandalay. "I will accept that. And, sir, I will help young Izuku settle in, too. Sir, his new place. Sir, I have also been looking for a place, and, well, this might be actually a perfect opportunity to even, sir, to make sure my place even stays clean, too." Or something like that, I'm not sure, like, have a little bit more lively in that. So he also asks, Deku asks, like, there's one more thing we need to talk about, though, too. Just with me and Mom and All Might. He looking at the other Pussycats and Coda and basically asking him to give him a moment. They accept that. Pixie Bob and Ragdoll had to be dragged away by Tiger, and Coda just respects Deku a lot more than most people, so yeah, he leaves too, out of respect. As Mandalay is wondering what's going on. As he said, "All Might, I guess you can relax now." And All Might deflates into his skinny form, Small Might. I know a lot of people say that. Mandalay is surprised because I'm betting most pro heroes doesn't know about Small Might. And I'm betting the Walla Walla Pussycats aren't high enough to know that. Or at least that's trustworthy, I'm guessing. I'm guessing Aizawa and all of the UA teachers know, but not like Mandalay. Possibly in, like, most heroes doesn't know, I'm guessing. That's all I'm saying. As All Might now goes to explain, like, "I have chosen young Midoriya to be my successor of my quirk, one for all." And, well, he first denied it, but he wanted to make sure that no one is more worthy than him. Mandalay is surprised and happy to see that All Might, the number one hero, wants to give him his quirk to her son. And is also happy to see that Deku is smart enough to know that there might be someone out there stronger than him. To know that he can even be beaten and being humble about it too. Unlike Bakugo, but Mandalay knows that Bakugo does bully other quirkless kids and whatnot. And does try to bully Deku, but Deku puts him in his place almost every time. So yeah. She understands that if Deku gets one for all, that she will be the only member of the Wild Wall Pussycats to know for that. And to cover for him if he ever does gets it. Because if Mandalay sees Deku with electrifying around him, like electricity going around him like that, she might be concerned and try to be overprotective mom, you know. As Deku thought of that and told All Might this ahead of time. Probably should have said something like that. But yeah. So she understands, and yeah, so All Might since I've explained everything, I probably should head out now. Says, I'll come back here in a week to help young Midori move to his new place. And I will most likely drop in now and every again. Because at first I was thinking All Might would live with Deku, because I don't know where All Might lives, but I'm deciding maybe no. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say no. He will just pop in now every now and again, drop off some groceries, and, make sure he's alright and fed. And Mandalay will do the same on more of a weekly basis to see if All Might is taking care of her baby and whatnot. Because no matter what, a mother will always see you as a baby, even if you're 50 years old and has grandchildren. That's just a random idea I just said, but yeah. But yeah, so Mandalay throughout this week now is just making sure he well packed, well equipped, and just constantly trying to spend every moment with Izuku. He's embarrassed, but still appreciates that even now his adopted mother loves him as if he was her own. So the week comes when Izuku has to move to the city. All Might is helping him, and Mandalay is crying because, of course, she would. Her only child is moving out, basically. I mean, he's not packing everything up. He will come over there, like on holidays, obviously, to stay and whatnot. But yeah, he's still basically moving. So the other Pussycats, after helping Deku move in, Coda as well helping Deku move in, making sure he's settled in for his first night alone. Mandalay, she's like, you know what, I'm maybe gonna stay here for the first few days. The other Pussycats like, no, you're coming with us. You have to learn to be a little more, I guess, little less of an overprotective parent. I don't know, I lost the thought in my head, but whatever. As they dragged her away, she tried to sneak back every time, but they eventually just used a tranquilizer. And she is just droopy and like that, and she's like, my baby, and whatnot. And she also had to be tied in a straitjacket to make sure she doesn't escape, because even after using a tranquilizer, she's have enough energy to run to Deku. And this was a bear tranquilizer, so nothing can beat an overprotective mother, obviously. As it is Deku's first night, and for plot convenience, I'm going to say Jiro is on the same street. And Deku is happy that he is close by Jiro, because Jiro and Deku has had some feelings towards each other. It is now the first day. So, Jiro's parents actually prepared some cookies because they heard they had a new neighbor. They don't know who it is, and Jiro comes along to see. And Jiro surprises Deku, who's living there, Izuku? You living on my street now? Izuku's like, yeah, I had to move closer to the city to basically make sure I get to UA on time. Because it would take me, I would have to wake up really early in the morning to just walk and get on a train to UA. And even then, I will be pushing my luck. She's happy that her best friend is going to be living on the same street, and that someone she has a crush on will be there too. Their Jiro's parents know who Deku is, obviously, and they're happy to see he's on the same street. Jiro's mother and father knows, how they look at each other. Jiro's mother is actually okay with this. She knows that Deku is very respectable, very kind, and very skilled. And she's alright with Jiro dating him, if that ever comes. As Jiro's father, overprotective of his daughter, of course, stereotypical dad. But, yeah, he also knows that Jiro is his own person and will like whoever she like. That doesn't mean he's gonna make it easy for Deku, though. As Deku said, well, I'm actually gonna have to head out. I'm supposed to be training on for the next 10 months for the UA entrance exam. If you want to come with sometime, Jiro, you can. I'll see if my teacher will allow me to bring you along. Jiro's like, okay, and what, like that, blushing a bit, because she thinks I get to spend time with Izuku a lot more now. And he heads out. And after bringing in the snacks that Jiro's parents made him, as a welcoming to the neighborhood gift. And yeah, Deku trains with All Might, seeing his strength level and whatnot. All Might is impressed with his strength and overall skill. He knew he was good with his hands, but he didn't know and his shield, but he didn't know all about his other equipment. And then he got this energy sword, which I'm going to say he made himself. So yeah, he's very intelligent too. As he also knows how to use bows. Yeah. And he actually got this from Mandalay. So, because, you know, Mandalay and the Wild Wild Pussycats are cats, and they also have claws. Deku, wanting to do having the same technique as them, because, you know, you live with them all your life, you might as well learn some stuff from them. As he's added this to his costume, because it is going to be basically this as his costume, except for replace the orange with green. Because, you know, Izuku's style colors. And I think that's all the equipment. I thought I added a picture of his shield, which if you don't know what his shield looks like, I will show you basically what it will look like after I find a good picture of it, because it is hard to find just as good picture of that. Plus, he does have 2 side pistols as well, I'm going to say. And he can use other weapons like bow staff and whatnot. But yeah, no, his primary stuff is just this stuff and his shield. And this is basically his costume right here, mixed kind of with this. But yeah, with the orange being, you know, green. And yeah, so the 10 months kind of started. He cleans up a lot of the beach, but sometime during that week he also asks All Might if a friend of his can come over and train with them. And All Might's not seeing a problem with this and saying alright and whatnot. He brings Kyoha, and Kyoha is asking who is his trainer, as All Might appears like, I am here, friend of young Midoriya. Jiro is surprised by this, as he said, that's All Might. You've been training with All Might this whole time? As Deku said, well, yeah, so you do know I train with a lot of pro heroes. And not to mention that he is going to be a teacher at UA, too. You know that, right? Kyoha and more surprised, like, you're going to be a teacher at UA. All Might like, yes, it was supposed to be kept more of a secret, but I told young Midoriya here after seeing that amazing display of his during the Sludgeville incident a couple days back. She's understanding why All Might is wanting to train Deku, and yeah, Deku also trains Jiro in more hand-to-hand combat and strength and stamina build-up. As this will also further their relationship more, making it more easier to confess to each other, but still embarrassing at times when they are, like, you know, thinking of that. And All Might's kind of picking up, like, the vibe between the two, and like, I see why he wanted to bring her here. That type of stuff. And it's been the 10 months, and Deku and Kyo actually cleaned up the beach in, I want to say 5 months. Because they did do other exercises too, other than moving trash. Jiro had trouble moving most of her stuff, and Deku had to help her out with that. So Deku actually cleaned his side faster than Jiro did. I would say it took him like I'm gonna say 3 months, maybe 2, actually. As he wanted Jiro to get stronger on his own, knowing that he couldn't help her with every bit of trash, just more of the heavier stuff like cars and refrigerators. But at some point, he doesn't help her with every refrigerator and car, basically. So, just some. Is that after the 5 months, they should do basic hand-to-hand training, and All Might is even training like that too, learning more styles other than just simple punches and stuff like that. He's learning to widen his variety. Because how Deku fights, he has almost every fighting style imaginable, and even some that pro heroes use as they advance with their quirks like that. And since Deku has a good set of abilities of his own, like increased stamina, strength, speed, all of that from his own quirk, plus his advanced mind, that's not even part of his quirk, he's able to manipulate, make his own fighting technique and copy some others. Oh yeah, and I forgot he does have Isaiah's scarf from the last part I mentioned, so I don't remember if I showed you guys all the equipment beforehand too. I'm just double checking. So sorry if I double checked you guys for that. As such, it has been 10 months. And Deku could have been recommended, but he wanted to prove his own skill himself. And yeah, so he doesn't meet Umaraka the same because, he had trip, he's confident in himself. And Bakugo, he does see Bakugo, but he doesn't talk to him. He doesn't really talk to Bakugo because, well, Bakugo was arrogant. He bullied a lot of people with weaker quirks than him, and such also just doesn't like Bakugo in general at this point. I mean, he likes Mitsuki a lot more because he sees Mitsuki as an aunt still in this one, but Bakugo and him aren't as close as in the Sub-Zero video I did. If you guys haven't really seen the series, please do. I do like the fact that people do like to watch my series, like this one. But yeah, in the written exam, yeah, he aces it. There's no question about it. As soon as he saw the paper, he basically finished it in like 2 minutes. Maybe just a minute at best, or at worst. And he turns it in present mic, I'm guessing, grading it, and like, wow, 100%. And he even corrected some of the spelling errors on here too. Everyone is surprised by that, as he is just, except for Kyoka. I don't know why I keep saying Jiro's first name and go back to her last name. It's weird. Anyways, sorry about that. So yeah, as now he's just waiting for the explanation of the 0-pointer. And his outfit he's wearing for the tests, I'm gonna say it's a lot of his support gear. Mostly just Aizawa's scarf, and he's wearing a white hoodie. Well, a white and gray hoodie. Like, the hood is white itself. And he does have like a white mask, like a white face mask, but kind of like a skull in general. I have like a white face mask that's just a skull itself, so I'll take a picture and show you what I mean later, if you guys want. And he does just have his shield too. Those are like the only, and maybe some bows and arrows. You don't know, it's just his shield and like a copy of Isaiah's scarf around his neck. As everyone is done with the test, he said, as President Mike explaining, Ida has to be Ida. It's saying, can you please explain the 0-pointer? If this is a mistake on, it says UA's part, then I will be very disappointed in this school, like this high-rated school. and you, pointing to Deku. So you should not have those, like those 2 items with you. So they are, so you should not allow to have those. And such, I don't think you should be wearing a face mask and a hood over your face, head. As Deku said, I'm sorry, but who are you exactly? Why did you stop this man from explaining and attacking me, of all people? I'm not even doing anything. And he was about to explain the 0-pointer. So it's basically an obstacle that you shouldn't be bothered with in general. So, like, run away from it, basically. And also, I got permission to use this support gear I have of mine. So, next time think before you speak. Okay? As Ida said, how dare you? So, do you know who I am? As Deku said, I clearly said I didn't know who you are. So, no. Let's sit down and let him explain. President Mike? President Mike, yeah, please sit down, I think, not student, but, tester, I guess? Like, tester 578, I'm gonna say. Yeah, like, he is right. He does have permission to use those items, because many people do have to use items for support gear. Not to mention, he is right about the 0-pointer. It's basically an obstacle you should want to avoid. Ida sits down and feels embarrassed that, and his pride is a little hurt. Like, I already do not like that kid. Basically, like, he's gonna, anytime he sees Deku trying to break the rules or anything like that, he's gonna be on him immediately. Like, nope, stop everything, just get this kid. Popping some of my shoulder at the moment, so it's kind of getting comfortable. As now, he's at the gate. And he's just waiting, as he sees Umaraka, like, nervous, and I'm like, should I, like, reinsure her she'll pass? I mean, Jio's not around, and I don't think she'll get jealous if I talk to her. So it's just reinsuring her, seeing she's alive. As Ida's been watching him, and he sees Deku staring at Umaraka, and he's like, nope, got to get on him now. You stared at someone, I'm going to stop you, as Deku was about to walk, and before Ida could even touch him, Deku said, what do you want? As Ida's surprised, like, how did you, like, I heard you walking towards me, and I know you've been staring at me since we've been here. So, you should really know how to hide your presence more. The only reason why I'm not is because I don't see the point of it. So, now, what do you want? Well, I saw you staring at that girl over there. She's already nervous enough, and I didn't want you to ruin her chance of getting into school. And Deku just stares at him like, I know she's nervous, but I'm trying to reinsure her. Plus, you should be the one talking. You're ruining your own chance and my chance, possibly, to be in UA. So worry about yourself. Worry about yourself and so just be prepared to take the test, because if you don't focus, you're gonna lose. And honestly, I don't really care if you do or not. As Ida's like, how dare you? As he just walks off. Ida wants to stop him again, but Deku just throws his shield at his legs and making him fall, bouncing off the ground and off to a pole and landing back in his hands. Everyone saw how skilled he is with that shield, and like, dang! So what else can he do? As he walks up to Umaraka and says, hey, I noticed you were nervous earlier. Just don't be. It should be a piece of cake. So, well, it should be easy enough, at least. As Umuraka like, thanks, and says, that shield part of your quirk or something? As he said, not really, it's just something they're allowing me to use. I'm very proficient with a lot of things, and they want to see how proficient I am with just two pieces of my equipment. As she's like, wait, what do you mean two? I only see one. As he points out to his scarf, like, this scarf is actually very useful for capturing villains, and that combined with my shield gives me excellent defense, movability, and attacks. So, and Umar's like, oh, what else can you use? He lists off of this other stuff, like, well, I'm very efficient with bows, guns, swords, knives, melee weapons in general, I guess. I'm also a very excellent driver. I know parkour and other fighting methods, too. She's impressed, like, is that your quirk or something? As he said, no, not really. My quirk is more of a boost quirk, as it gives me enhanced strength, speed, stamina. Not to abnormal levels, but it does help me quite a bit with training as well. As she's noticing, he is actually quite buff. He can't really see his face well because, the face mask and hood is up. And she's like, alright, then President Mike, the gate is opening, like, well, better head out. He dashes, doing a flip over Umuraka and everyone else, as he is just running. Ida, like, he should be expelled. He's running before you even say go. President Mike, like, well, what are you guys waiting for? Follow his example. There's no countdown during battles. Follow his example. Ida's like, dang it. He is just even more mad as now Ida's running. Deku skilling up a building, viewing the area. As he sees a bunch of 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, he's like, well, let's get to work, as he's making quick work. Throwing his shield, using the scarf Aizawa even taught him to use and proficiently. He is using his shield and scarf at the same time, making it like kind of like a wrecking ball, I guess, type deal, or a rope dart, I guess, yeah. Because if you don't know what that is, it's basically like a kunai, like how Scorpion's kunai is, like how he's get over here. Think of it like that, but just look up the rope dart techniques and you get what I'm talking about. But he's doing that with his shield at the end of it. And not only that, he's doing that with other items too, like the other parts of the robots too. He's using an arm that he got off of a 1-pointer, so he's using it as an extra weapon. As he's racking up points quickly, he's already at, I want to say like 70 points in the halfway through the test, and Bakugo's at 45 right now. And at the end, Bakugo will get the same amount of points, because he saw how Deku's skilled and whatnot in his childhood, and yeah. And Jiro is getting more points than in canon, because all the training Deku and her do. But yeah, as almost by the end of it, Deku's already got 149 points. As Deku's like, well, I think that's enough. I've gotten about quite a few different robots. As he says, remembers every single one exactly. He knows he got 149 points. And he's been keeping an eye on everyone else, seeing how, if he can copy any of their fighting styles, or see if they can improve on their fighting styles and whatnot, and even keep an observation on point-wise. As he said, well, that four-eyed kid obviously got in. He got some of the other most points out of some of these kids here, so he's most likely going to get in. And right before he about to leave, he is a 0 pointer coming. And yeah, the 0 pointer comes, seeing everyone runs, and like, I could try to take this thing down, but at the same time, though, that's really worth anything. So, probably should head out. As he was about to walk off, but he hears Umaraka screaming and saying help, whatnot. He turns around, seeing her there, he's like, dang it, I have to help her. I know this is a test and all, but still. He runs, bolting it. So, not with, he's not faster than Ida, but he's still quite a bit fast. It's abnormally faster. It is just a simple boost quirk after all. It's not gonna boost him like to abnormal humans. He can maybe bench press, maybe not bench press a car, but throw a car or two. Not at the same time, but one at a time, I guess. But still, even to throw a car, not very far though, but still to throw a car, he will get some. He is quite strong, basically, and yeah. And at this stage of his life, he can maybe handle 20% of one for all. So yeah, he is bolting it, and sees him rock and lifts the rubble up. Got her out from under there using the scarf, and just kind of runs with her, carrying her. He puts in a marker and says, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, thanks." And Deku's looking back since I'm this close, I might as well deal with it. Umar, wait, you're still not going to fight it, are you? Deku said, don't worry, I know a thing or two. Or a lot of things. He just runs up, using Azara's scarf to get himself higher and higher up, scaling buildings and whatnot, and when he's closer to 0 point, he's scaling up to his head, using the scarf and his own natural climbing abilities. And yeah, he gets to the 0 point head. Everyone's already impressed how he got all the way up there, and he hits inside the robot's head, because I'm going to say Deku did the Iron Bone workout. If you don't know what that workout is, basically it's controllingly breaking your bones to an extent. Not completely, I don't think, but breaking them enough to toughen them up, and that they won't do permanent damage, or at least not needing you in a cast. As his bone is tough as iron at this point. All of his bones. He'd done it for every part of him. This was not during the 10 months of training, but this was somewhat around that time. As he wanted to try that workout for a while, but Mandalay would be like, no, he only did it with his hands at first. But now, since he was all alone at home, and All Might wasn't there, and of course, Jiro, he did it at home. Secretly, of course. As he is punching through the head, as now he's inside, knowing what to do, disconnecting this and that, breaking whatever he needs to stop it without making it explode. Because he wants to limit the destruction. Because he has learned how to, limit the, keep a minimum of destruction away, right? Yeah, he, deactivates the 0 pointer. As then he just jumps out through the front, breaking one of the glasses of, the 0 pointer's eyes, using the shield to land properly. The shield hits the ground, he bounces off the shield, and yeah, he lands perfectly. Hero stance, basically. As the 0 pointer is just, totally deactivated, he looked cool as hell as he lands. As time is up. I'm going to say the 0 pointer actually did explode, but more controlledly. Just to make him look more badass. Everyone's impressed, he did that all by himself, as even the teachers, and Aizawa especially, Yeah, I want that kid in my class no matter what. Even if he doesn't get in. As everyone's surprised, like Aizawa even wants him in there. And Nezu reassures him that he will be in your class, and if there was even higher than 1A, he would be in it. As Deku just helped him Rocket to get Recovery Girl. Deku making sure she's alright, and like, alright then, well, I hope I see you in 1A. He walks off. Back at home now, it's the same day. All Might comes in to check on him, saying, I saw how you did in the entrance exam. I'm very impressed. And so I thought I would tell you that you got the top marks not only in the theory exam, but in the not only in the written, but in the physical, and she became first in both. Deku said, I kind of figured, but how many? I know I got 149 points from of that. All Might said, nah, you got more than that. Deku's like, excuse me, my memory is not wrong when it comes to that. I know how many robots has destroyed exactly points. All Might said, true, you got 149 villain points. Deku's now curious, like, what do you mean? Well, they're hero points, and you actually got 60, so you got 209 points, beating my score when I originally went into UA. Only by 9, true, but still, you beaten it. Deku's pretty proud of himself. I didn't know about the hero points, but now that I think about it, it makes sense. It is a hero school, and you definitely want, if some people saving other people, you definitely want them to get into UA, being a hero. I'm like, yeah. And you also be good to know that your friend, Kyoka Jiro, was it? Is also going to be in your class too. Deku's extremely happy for that. And he even calls me in the layup and tells her, like, the good news that he passed. And she's like, oh my god, my baby boy passed. And she's just being a proud mother and, like, you know, just like an overreaction, like happy and like stuff. As she's now say, you know, we're gonna celebrate tonight. All of us is gonna meet up at your place and celebrate. They do. Jiro knows that she passed too, because Deku said that she passed, and he got the good news from All Might about that. She's excited and happy to hear that. So yeah, they all celebrate that night together, eating and just being merry and whatnot. As it will be the next day. So Jiro and Deku goes in together to UA because they live pretty close. As they are looking for the class, and they reach to the 1A door, and they're like, why is this door so big? Does giants live here? And Jiro just chuckles and like, you really think giants live here? Well, you never know what kind of quirks people have nowadays. So Jiro's like, true. As they walk in, they see Bakugo immediately and Ida. Deku already knows Ida, and both of them obviously know Bakugo. So Ida said, put your feet off the desk already. You're being disrespectful not to only the school, but to previous UA students. That kind of stuff. As they stop for a moment, Ida and Bakugo sees Deku, like, says, that kid. Ida's mind. Bakugo like, Deku. They notice, like, we both hate that kid. Let's team up to take him down. Like, that's what their thought processes are at the moment, like, after noticing they both hate him. Because Ida will hate Deku at first, but after a while he will realize, like, he was being a little uptight and realized that he never had a problem with So him, it was just his pride and ego. It would be like that for up to the USJ, I want to think. Maybe. I'm not sure. Like, that's the best thing I can think at that point. But yeah, so they go sit down, but Deku is like knowing that Umarok is behind him, because he does have good training, and I do think someone would train him how to know that someone's behind them, like good train them with their senses, and see that, oh, it's you, as he kind of just tilts his head to let Umaraka know that he's talking to her. Like, how did you? I train a lot, and I have good senses. I know when people are about to attack from behind or front, or surprise attack me in general. Example. Says he ducks under and pulling down Jiro and Umaraka, because Bakugo thought like this could be his chance to attack Deku. As he missed, like, damn it. See? It has, a lot of the 1A students are now impressed, like, holy cow. And then Aizawa, like, do that again, and Bakugo, like, do that again. Yeah. I don't know if Aizawa would know Bakugo, but I'm just gonna say Bakugo and you will be expelled. And Bakugo, like, who the hell are you to tell me I'm gonna be expelled? And he said, I'm Shotai Aizawa, your homeroom teacher. Deku, like, in his mind, like, so that's Eraser. Like, oh, it's Eraserhead. No, wait, no. He knows Aizawa, so never mind. Like, he said, oh, hey, Aizawa, it's been a while. So I said, Izuku. I see you still have one of my scarves. You've been keeping up with it. Deku said, you really need to ask. Fair point. Everyone's like, how do you know him? Then Deku said, oh, well, so he does go to my mom. He, like, does go to this training camp a lot, and I do live at the training camp. He brings students by, and he even taught me a thing or two. As everyone is surprised, like, he lives at the training camp they heard about when you go into UA after a while. They start asking him, like, what is a training camp like? So do you really live at there? We probably should get to, like, start class, so I'll talk to you guys later about that. They're like, alright, yeah, fair enough. Aizawa thanks Deku for not talking any further, and like, alright, quick apprehension test. Everyone outside. It's Umaraka and some of the students like, but what about orientation? Deku not really having any of that. He knows how Aizawa rolls. As he simply just grabs the sports uniform and look at Jiro like, come on, let's go. Jiro like, okay, and yeah, she follows Deku with the uniform, like the sports uniform. And I was like, yeah, you need to be more like that kid, and just do as you said. Ida and Bakugo is mad again at this, and everyone else eventually follows. Deku, in the middle of changing, just about to put on his shirt, basically. Everyone walks in and sees how ripped he is, because he has built like good muscle, like he has lean and built muscle. Like, he's not overly muscular like how most bodybuilders are, but he has lean muscles. As Kyushin, like, whoa, dude, what do? You have like a good body and whatnot. As Deku simply turns around and said, I train all my life and whatnot. Kyushin, like, wait, what kind of training do you do? As Deku simply says, everything. I train in every way possible. Kirishima thinks, manly. Because that would be pretty manly if you see this, like, buff dude saying that he trains in every aspect in his body. As now, they all head outside. But before that, actually, I realized, like, Mineta is about to be pervy and whatnot, as Deku simply grabs him, like, say, don't be a pervert. No girls will like you. He likes that. As so, Mineta, like, oh, come on, are you not interested in seeing the girls like that? Like, he said, no. Said that simply my classmates, and I do not want to invade their privacy. You should at least have some respect for that. Mineta said, oh, is one of them you already have a type or something in that? As Deku, like, a type? Like, one, or something like that. Already had eyes on someone. As he thinks immediately, Jiro, as he blushes, like, no, no one. And Mineta, like, oh, really? Just giving a grin, and Deku immediately slams him on the ground. As just drops kicks him. As he walks away, as he will tell Aizawa about the hole in the boys' locker room. Every guy saw that, so yeah. And Jiro did hear that. So obviously, because she has the, earphone jack plugged in. Everyone's outside, and Aizawa simply throws the ball to Deku, like, you got the highest score not only in the written exam, but in the practical, so I want you to throw it with your quirk. But I know you don't, like, it won't, but I know you do usually use gears, your support gear, but I want to see what you can do without it. Deku said, alright. Bakugo needed, Bakugo, what, how did he get more points than me? As Deku simply turns around and said, I train all my life, and I'm more skilled than you, Bakugo. Bakugo is mad, but he knows he can't do anything, because if he does try anything, not only that Deku will slam him, but Aizawa will expel him, because he did give him that warning. And most of the people are impressed with that. And most of the girls are eyeing Deku, because the sports uniform he has on is somewhat tight around him and showing most of his muscles. All the girls were looking at him like, ooh, and whatnot. But Jiro is jealous, like, no one's positive staring at my man except for me like that. Like, in his head, obviously. Like, being all jealous and whatnot. And yeah, Deku now throws a ball. And it looks like he didn't use a quirk at all, but realistically, his quirk is always active. It's more or less a mutation, as he gets, he doesn't have superhuman strength, but he has more strength than most people. He has some strength equal to a strength enhancer quirk, but he's not All Might level, so he might be Death Arms level, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna say, he gets more than Bakugo. He gets 750 meters. As everyone's surprised by that, except for Aizawa, because he knows about Deku's quirk. As everyone's like, what is your quirk, man, to make you throw that far? As he said, I have a boost-based quirk that boosts most of my attributes. My speed, agility, durability, and strength. And this is not really a quirk, but I have a very high IQ to do a lot of stuff. And to remember basically anything that I've seen once. I can copy it perfectly too. As everyone's surprised by this, except for obviously Jiro, Aizawa, and Bakugo. Although he's still not happy the fact that he clearly is stronger. Because the more stronger more he trains, the more stronger his quirk can become. Somewhat. It's not overly powerful, but it is powerful. Because it's always active is a mutation, obviously. As the rest of the test goes by, Deku getting first in most areas. Not all, like, he doesn't get first in the ball throw because Umaraka is Infinity, and you can't beat that. I'm gonna say he doesn't beat Shoji in the grip strength, because, yeah, like, he has to be limited to some things. And in speed, he is in second because of Ida, but, yeah, he's, like, few seconds off, I'm gonna say. But if it was a more distance, then, yeah, he would have not been as close. Or maybe he's as fast as Ida, but not as fast as reciprocal burst. Maybe a few seconds off. I'm not sure, as I said. So, yeah. As it's shown, like, Minoru Mineta is in last place, but I don't know if I'm, like, he's Minoru Mineta. Make this more as a learning experience. Don't try to get better, and next time, don't get distracted. I heard what happened in the locker room, and if that happens again, I will expel you. Mineta is, like, thankful, but at the same time, like, frightened. As, at the end of the day, Jiro and Deku works home together. Deku said, I noticed you were giving other girls death glare. Are you jealous or something? Jiro blushes like, I don't know what you're talking about, because she's in her head like, damn it, he noticed that. So, it's just a little funny moment, and yeah, that's where I'm going to end it. I'm going to cover the hero versus villain, and at some point, the USJ. And yeah, I know some people might not want me to give Deku one for all, but I'm considering it. Because one, I do think this version of Deku is quite powerful. I am explaining his quirks somewhat bad at times, but most people do that when they do this type of videos. They sometimes just make it pull it out of their asses, basically, just doing that on the fly. But not only that, I will look up more of the weapons too, like he can use, because I know he might add them to his arsenal now and again, like just some like fun stuff you can add. But yeah, no, so anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Peace.